Who doesn't like to go out to eat? Everybody likes to go to a restaurant once in a while. But we never go too far into the restaurant. We certainly don't go behind the kitchen doors, and that's where we're going today with the man who has spent, well, a career, still spending a career behind teaching people, investigating, helping people figure out what goes on behind those kitchen doors. Chef Pascal, welcome, sir.
Hey, thank you, Paul, our producer, and I'm very excited to be here again today. And actually, I would love to come every day. You know,
wouldn't that be fun? We would just only if you brought food, though. You got to bring food every day.
Yeah. It's on my list.
Talking good, food better.
Maybe we should shout out. Can you have chef that can bring food?
We will have anybody on the show who brings food. Let's just be open. We'll work for food. We'll talk for food.
We'll talk for food, So
make that a requirement for the chefs to come for bringing food.
I think that's it.
All right. So
I'm going to back up and give you a little introduction here. You've had so many interesting chefs on the show, people who worked with you or for you, or people you admire and what they do. Yeah. You've brought in purveyors, people, or OC Baking Company, other people who provide the goods for the chefs to do magic things here. But I've never heard of a guy who does consulting, a culinary consultant. He helps the chefs, I'm guessing, come up with better operations and better ideas. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, we're going to ask him that because I'm curious. I didn't even know myself as well. And but this chef Alan Ramirez that I met through some catering, through some other chef. He's also part of the Table for 10 events, and so he's part of the Orange County
community of chefs.
Community, I will call it like a culinary gang.
A gang? Oh, a gang.
Yeah.
Do you have tattoos and stuff? So I'm confused, though, because on the note you gave me, it says Alan Ramirez, but why does it say Chef Chuck?
Oh, Chuck.
Yeah.
That's his kitchen name.
That's my kitchen name.
Kitchen name, I see. Yeah. Okay. Just like there's I'm going to show my little 5 words of French here. Nom de guerre. Or nom de plume. Yeah, the name you write under, the name you fight under. There's a name, and then there's your nom de plume, the one you write under here.
I think his name fit him well because when he's in a kitchen with his co-worker or with other chef, like me, sometimes I am, he liked to not joke around, but to have a good time.
Okay.
Know? He really enjoyed being there. Yeah. And you do, huh?
I love the kitchen.
Yes.
It's been my passion since I can remember.
Explain it to me, somebody who never goes into a kitchen. I can't cook at all.
Yeah. Well, first, why you decide to be in a kitchen?
Well, for me, I started cooking for myself and my family when I was 7. That's...
When you were 7?
Yeah, I started cooking when I was 7.
Is that out of necessity or because you liked it? Somebody had to cook and it was you? Or?
I remember I told my mom, I was like, hey, I'm kind of hungry. And she was still sleeping. Myself and my brother used to wake up really early in the morning, 5:30, 6 in the morning. Yeah. And my dad is a longtime musician. So when we were in Mexico, he would leave at about like 7 p.m. or so to go sing, right? He had a couple gigs in
He was a performer?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
He still does that.
What type of music?
It's called trios, which is like romantic ballad music. Ballad mariachi and all that.
Right.
I grew up with all that type of music.
Do you play an instrument?
I play a little bit of the piano.
Yeah.
But music for me is essential in my life. I listen to a lot of music, a lot of genres. So my mom would say,
in the kitchen you like to blast
music.
Yeah.
You in the kitchen whenever you work, we always play music.
You know, I never thought about that, but do they? I've been in kitchens, and I don't really remember.
Some kitchens love music, and it really gives you energy, even if it's not your style of music, but still it has an energy, and people, to give you a rhythm of work, and the time flies better, and don't feel the pain.
Did you? We're going down a couple of rabbit holes. When 25 years, 30 years at Pascal's, did you play music in the kitchen? You?
No, because I didn't allow it.
But a lot of kitchens don't allow it. And again, when it's like crunch time, it shifts a lot when we're like prepping and getting stuff ready where it's a little bit more lenient. But when it's like crunch time when it has to go, we turn off the music and it's like you put on the chef hat and you get serious, you know.
Totally
so a lot of kitchens don't allow that for that reason.
So no music during the crunch time, but once you serve the last guest and you start doing the cleanup, because we hate doing, not that we hate, but we have to do the cleaning in the kitchen. Then we blast the music.
Okay.
And even the dishwasher, because he has a pile of dishes to clean, so we just blast some good music in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, a little detour from that, but I started cooking when I was 7. Professionally cooking, I want to say I started when I was 14, going in 15.
So again, I got to stop you guys. Chef Pascal said that you started when you were like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody starts a career at 14 or 15. You're not even allowed to work in the States here at 14 or 15 legally. I mean, maybe a little part-time or something. But you're saying many chefs, many have come in here and said, hey, I was working back in the kitchen, right or wrong, at 14.
Yeah, I mean, it's unregulated industry, you know.
I know. Who's going back behind the kitchen doors?
Yes.
Child labor, 100% guaranteed. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I actually lied.
For food, you know, at that time.
I was putting like 90-hour weeks.
Yeah.
During the summer, I would clock in at 9 and then take my break from like 3 to 4.
Were you still going to school, or had you dropped out of school?
Yeah. No, I was still going to school because I did that the last 2 months of my freshman year, and then the first 2 months of my sophomore year.
You put in 90 hours while you're going to school?
No, that was during the summer.
Oh, during the summer.
During the summer, I was putting about 90 hours just because we were low staff, you know.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like how I initiated my cooking career. And then I hopped around at a couple of Subways, which those don't really count, you know. But I was called a Subway artist. I hate Subway now. And then my professional, like my first kitchen job as an adult, I worked at the Italian White House. I was there for like 4 months, and then I ripped my Achilles tendon, so I had to stop working.
Is that Bruno's place?
Yeah, Bruno Serrano. That I worked under Chef Eddie, and the sous chef was Onesimo, I believe, at that time. But I did work under Chef Eddie for like I said, 4 months.
It's a great school.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It was hard. Like coming in from working like at 14, it was a little bit more lenient. I was a kid. But coming in at 18 into a kitchen like that, it was difficult.
Yeah, and then you work at the ranch.
Yeah, I was at the ranch for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And that one was an eye-opener as to what the standards are in the kitchen.
So many people you've had through either that you've introduced me to or have gone through the ranch. Is that like
the ranch, Hanem Ranch?
Yeah, is that one of those like places, rites of passage, you go there? And
it was owned by 2 great chefs, really visionary, and they make that business booming.
Yeah, the food was really good. The service was impeccable. The kitchen was broken down entirely the whole time. They had really good SOPs. It was just, I think we were like 25 cooks at one.
Wow.
During the service.
Yeah, real kitchen.
Real kitchen.
Yeah, like a real kitchen.
So is that what you do now, is work with people on? Well, there's a word I never heard on this show, SOP, Standard Operating Procedures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that was, to me, it's the equivalency of like a great kitchen, having good standard operating procedures, and the ranch was definitely one of them. Because prior to that, I've worked at Hopscotch. I was at,
I'm surprised you didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Were you scared to work for me?
No, you know what? I actually met you. When I was going through Cypress Community College with Chef Michael Bird.
Oh, yeah.
I was the last class. I actually had a class with Chef Michael Bird, and for his retirement, we cooked, and you were one of the speaking guests.
Yeah.
And I remember everyone was like, oh, Chef Pascal's here. He's like a celebrity OC chef. And I remember looking outside the door. I was like, oh, damn, good-looking fella.
Should have told him that then. You would have gotten hired.
I'm pretty sure. And then, but I've always known who Chef Pascal was from Culinary, and we met. I think I helped you out for an event in Newport Hills and Newport Beach.
Oh yes.
The one that we did
With Chef Brendan.
No. This was prior to that. This was before I started working with Chef Brandon.
He's
It was
done
the one where we did the Persian wedding.
Oh yeah.
Remember that we had like the whole pig,
Yeah.
and then like 4 or 5 different
a
stations.
Persian wedding and you had a whole pig. Oh my goodness!
No, what was it?
A lamb.
It was the lamb. It was the
Lamb.
big old lamb.
Oh, lamb.
The lamb baron, right? That one was
lamb.
crazy.
A whole
That was
lamb.
A whole
Oh my god!
You roast it on the pit, and
The whole
it's
deal.
fabulous.
Yeah, that one was heavy. That I had to handle that one because
Yeah.
we had to carry it.
So, let's recap
Yes, sir.
to where you are now. So you have the catering business, which called Butterfight.
Yes, sir.
Why Butterfight?
Yeah.
Butterfied is an homage to a friend that passed away.
Okay.
We used to call her on our group our social butterfly.
Yeah.
And I remember I opened up Butterfied missed COVID, so October 2020, out of
So
pure
it's-
boredness. I was
Really-
tired of being in the house and not
Yeah.
working,
Yeah.
and I opened up Butterfied.
Fairly
And,
recently.
yeah,
Yeah.
5 years ago,
Yeah.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
This, so relatively recent, and it's just a word on place of butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Oh.
I don't identify as a butterfly. I'm not a social person. I'm very introverted when it comes to like my social life and personal. But she was our butterfly, and I just kind of
Yeah.
drawing and because I draw a little bit, draw and paint. So
So
as
she
I
was
was,
working with you.
she worked with us for she worked with me for a minute,
know.
and from there I just kind of
It's so sad because in the kitchen, we are a family. And when somebody is sick, so we lose a member of the family. It's very hard. You never forget.
No, I actually have. I got a tattoo of her on my arm. So, she was a big part of my family, and she definitely left a big impact. And Butterfly kind of came out of that.
Yeah.
So
you're still connected.
Pretty much. Yeah.
What makes people bond as a family back? Is it the pressure?
I don't know.
Shared
Because
pressure?
You
Shared passion?
you are elbow to elbow.
Right.
And everybody is like a football team or basketball team. Everybody has to do his part, and then which if you see one station, the chef has more work than you do, you go help him, and so it's really a group effort to run the kitchen.
Yeah, I read an interesting article based on that, where high stress level jobs create a strong bond because both of you guys are in that article said the trenches, right? So similar to like people that are in war and they're experiencing high stress level
or high level competition, sports and stuff.
Exactly.
And actually, right now everybody say, "Oh, chef so, chef that." No, we're not all chef in the kitchen, but we used to call our friend in the kitchen by the name, by nickname sometimes. Me, there was called, after being called chef, was called Daddy or Daddy O. Daddy O.
Hey, Daddy O.
Not gonna call you Daddy.
So, it's he is actually
Daddy sounds a bit creepy, but Daddy O, America, we got Daddy O.
Okay, fine.
Papa?
Papa, help me, Papa. All right, so you guys all bonded it now.
So you had Butterfight. So now talk to us about the Forkcast Solutions.
That's what I want to hear about.
Okay, so
Forkcast. That's a very clever name.
Not
Fork.
Forkcast. Fork.
Forkcast.
Like a fork you
Yes.
stick in something.
Again, a play on words for forecasting. So forecast is something that is being formulated as we speak. We are planning to launch March 1st for Table for 10.
Okay.
And it's a consultation firm that is going to help restaurants identify their health in where they at. We come in, we do an audit, and we identify the aspects of where there might be a bottleneck or a choke point, or and to an extent even extinguish fires that are being existential while the business is running.
You are going to explore, if you hire a kitchen, to see if everything is fine for them. And maybe they need support and they need direction.
Yes. So in a way, we're not taking the regular marketing and web design and approach to consulting. I think based on the market research that we've done, that's been overused, and it is helpful, right? However, my partner and I, his name is Radovan. He has an MBA in international business, so very, very, very smart guy. He's the one that helped me with my business. He created my website, as well as gave me the knowledge to create SOPs, learn about the POSs, and how to manage accounting and things that we are normally taught as chefs, but are crucial if you're going to be a business owner. Right, so transitioning from like a chef to a business owner is a big step, because
big step.
It's not just now the food. The food becomes a section, a sector.
Talking about the back behind the door, back at the house, it's so much more than just cooking.
Can we explore that and break that down a little bit? Because as we talked about a little bit, I'm a minor owner. I had a small sports bar. Well, it was 5,000-6,000 feet. It was around for about 10 years, and we did minimal food, sports bar kind of food stuff and everything. So we had a little bit of a kitchen. I mean, we had a kitchen, but it wasn't doing what you guys talk about. The cost control, the food control, making sure that the chicken doesn't spoil and go bad, and where do you store the chicken, and why are we putting it in with the beer, and all this other wild, crazy stuff.
Now, in a hotel, you have always crew, but now even in regular kitchen, you have the HR part of it. So you have to make sure your employees are safe to work.
Yeah. So let's. I'm going to give you a list of some of these things and walk me through it. From my own experience, owning a sports bar and getting forced to go into the back of the kitchen and watch the mess sometimes that was there. Let's talk about just health regulations and safety. Yeah. We got some people sick a couple times because I think we were not storing the chicken right and stuff here. We're cross-contaminating or using the wrong knives and do different things and stuff, mixing. Talk about some of that cross-contamination. That's scary. The people aren't paying enough attention to, and you get food poisoning, those sorts of things. You're creating bad product back there. Do kitchens pay enough attention to that stuff, or they just kind of throw it around?
They do. They have to pay big attention, because those are big lawsuits right there.
And you get shut by the health department.
It's not only big lawsuits. It makes you feel terrible if something happens. And I cannot say any cases that it happened to me, but because we stay on the top of it. You have to label all the food. You have to date what you make. Yeah. And
how long have we had this fish? How long have we had this chicken?
You have to. There's a chain of cooling food, and you cannot just put steaming stuff in your refrigerator. You have to put the meat there, the dairy there, the produce there. No, there's a whole system that people may not know that.
And I don't think a lot of people have a system. They just kind of stick it wherever it goes.
Well, basically...
You watch this Bar Rescue or these other shows where who's the guy that goes in the back, and it's horrible. It's disgusting what's going on back there. It's not just...
Actually, I was going to ask Chef Chuck that you're consulting a TV show
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
When they go in the kitchen and then point things.
What's it called? What was it?
Well, I know there's Bar Rescue's one of them, but there's a couple others.
Kitchen Nightmares with Chef. Chef Ramsay or Chef Gordon.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more of that going on than people know. Not in the big operations, but in these little mom and pop operations where they don't really have a system and they don't know how long they've had this food and they're not putting it in the right place and it's chaotic and like cross contamination. What happens? Don't you if you mix chicken and fish and some other
or
things?
even cutting board? You have to
Cutting
have
board,
cutting
yeah.
board for every.
They have different colors
Yeah.
for different uses.
Yeah.
But that is like one example, which is a great example of the things that we're doing. Operational efficiency is one of the pillars that we have.
Let's talk about that for a second, because one of the things, as we opened this kitchen, on a Friday night when we were jammed, it was a nightmare. Everything backed up. So somebody said, you got to get an expediter, particularly if something went back to the kitchen. Now everybody's stopped fixing that one thing and 20 other items are not coming out on time here, and it just gets worse and worse. How do you feel about it? I know that's controversial. Some people believe in an expediter if there's enough volume. Some people don't.
It's 100% crucial.
Yeah.
100% crucial.
You can't. The kitchen staff will get lost if there's never. He's a conductor.
He's a conductor, right? Exactly. He's the general. He's moving stuff around here. Where's this? How about this? All right, set this aside. Don't worry about that. Well, I'll fix this. Go, keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Unfortunately, if you don't have a good expediter, the chef jump into the position.
That's usually what happens, right?
But then you miss the chef in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, what's it called? Giving that example, Chef Atkins, Gan Atkins from Alinea, he kind of switched that because for many years, the executive chef, the sous chef were the ones in kitchens that I worked that were doing the expos.
Yeah.
And when Chef Atkins comes and he's like, hey, we're like, I don't want to be an expediter. I want to be in the kitchen. I want to be touching the food. Like, if you are the highest in the kitchen, then why are you the last one touching food? Right? So he himself sets a system where he puts an actual expediter, right? And he's the one, the expo is the one controlling the kitchen flow, what table's going to get fired, where we at in times. But having an expo there is the direct connection or the bridge to the front of the house.
It's part of the logistic, you know.
Yeah.
You move your ticket either by the time the order's been taken, you know, because you need to make sure there's not one table that wait longer. Oh, they got the food, they order it after me, and they already got their food. So, I mean, it's very important to...
And we couldn't figure out a system. It was no easy. Maybe it's easier now with automation and with computers and stuff. We were just started at the beginning of that. Ticket would come into the kitchen. That whole process. How does it get printed? Does it get put up on a board or whatever overhead or something? How does it move along? How do you know which one's next?
The best system that we have now, your ticket, you get double print. Actually, more than double print.
Okay.
One for the kitchen line, on the chef station.
Right.
One for the expo.
Right. Expediter.
And then each section of the kitchen. The
Kitchen
pantry, the garde-manger, the hotline, they all have their own printer with their own ticket.
Yeah.
So, and then, boom, we coordinate. It's like a puzzle.
See, that's where the expo comes in. Because, say you're firing pasta and you're firing steak and you're firing all the everything that's coming out of Garmo, right?
Which all take a different amount of time to create.
Well, because even the station of garde-manger, you think, oh, it's all cold. No, there's some hot item also in the appetizer station on some cold
I'm getting
item.
PTSD from that shit.
So, yeah, I mean, just we said, so how do you get it all to come together? It's different timing. Do I start cooking this? Do I start cooking it all at the same time? Then one's sitting around while we're waiting for the other one to arrive. All that kind of stuff. Here's my other question. So they should get an expediter. I don't know how to hire an expediter. I know how to hire a chef. You say, cook me something.
It's not, you know, I'm not going to bash Gordon Ramsay. Say, well, I need this now.
Right.
No, you can't, you know. So we say the chef, start preparing this because it's going to be picked up very soon.
Right.
So there is an order that the chef, the classic way, say order, and then
do this first, do that next.
Know
right.
what they have to do from that order, and then say fire, and then start cooking, and then the last step is pick up.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's
And how
three
many
steps.
times they don't pick it up? It's just sitting back.
No,
there.
No, it's a pickup. That's what the servers do, or
Yeah.
the runners at this point.
Yeah, because they need the food. So,
Right. And that's why I say, do you actually get runners? Because the wait staff's out in front.
Yeah.
and
order, fire, pickup. That's the 3 steps.
all right. So, but if I was going to open a restaurant tomorrow, which I would think 10 times before I did it in today's environment, cost and rent and labor costs and training and sexual harassment, 1,000 million things that we didn't worry about 20, 30, 40 years ago. If I was going to do that, I know how to go get a chef, cook me something, talk me through where you've been, talk me through your concept, what you want to do. How do I get an expediter? And what is the training for the expediter? You're training over at Saddleback Culinary Institute. Some of these kids can come out and just be expediters. Is that their goal? Is that their training? Or is that a step in being a chef?
Well,
I
an
think it's part of
expediter-
the whole learning experience.
Yeah, because you could have a server or a runner potentially be a expediter, but you could also have a chef be an expediter. Like I said, an expo is pretty much a bridge of the kitchen to the front of the house.
But what's the training for that job? That's a different
The
skill
training?
than making the sauce and being on the line cook and creating stuff. That's a different skill.
You are right, but it's not formal. There's no formal training.
didn't think so.
I think you have to learn it on the spot. Because you have some kitchens who are really fast, some kitchens that are real
kinda
slow,
Yeah.
and some food that you have to learn. There is a souffle, so make sure you start 20 minutes before the server asks for it. There is a well-done T-bone steak, or there's a rare steak. So both are different timing,
Right.
and some braising food and that need to be warm up. But so this
We struggled to find somebody because there were chefs who knew how to cook. There were people who worked on the line who weren't quite chefs yet, and we didn't see that in-between person. You need to have the skill and knowledge of the chef, but you're not the chef. You're an expediter. You're there to keep the operation moving, and that's why so often the head chef becomes the expediter.
you like to be on expo?
Me?
Yeah.
I love expo.
Yeah.
I do. I was pretty good at expediting. My natural positions were, I was always a floater.
Okay.
In the kitchen, I was always a floater. I covered the shifts. I covered days off. At any time, any position.
So you could step in and cook on the line, or you could suddenly...
Yeah.
And does all the cooks lack when you were the
Expediter?
Yeah, like I said, I was pretty good.
Because some of them can be dictatorial like Gordon Ramsay, but that I don't think works.
Yeah.
I think you've got to be cooperative. Come on, all right, let's get this going. You got to somehow everybody's got to pull everybody together.
Yeah.
No, sometimes you do need to scream.
No, but he's saying the wrong message that, say, the way is to approach every part of every members of the kitchen, and then say, okay, the fish is going to take less time, so I'm not going to cook it now, but the meat's going to take more time. So that's the key in real work.
Everything goes down to timing, even when you're in the line, right? Within stations, like grill station to, say, saute that are taking out the vegetables, right? Say you're dropping a New York and it takes 8 minutes. You call out, I'm 3 minutes out, right? And saute knows that within those 3 minutes, they have to complete the side dish, right? And then it just comes up together. Yes.
And bad kitchens don't communicate.
No. Have you watched The Bear? And in The Bear, there's some episode when suddenly the dinner starts. Bam. Okay.
You're talking about the TV show?
Yeah.
5:30, 6 o'clock. And then the printer just keep it going.
Yeah,
print.
right.
And so you have to control that, before.
Yeah.
Because they're ordering another one in, another order in, another order in. In the old day, they used to shout it, and the waitress would say, okay, got another XY. You all have shorthand for describing stuff and everything here.
A lot of our guests maybe don't know that's kind of part.
I don't think everybody should watch a really fine kitchen, a crazy kitchen and a good kitchen. The chaos can go back there. We're late. What do you mean this isn't ready? What do you mean waitress coming back or wait staff coming back saying, where's my order? They've been waiting for 20 minutes just screaming. And, oh, shoot, we forgot to put that in or whatever.
So with your new
consulting company,
company, are you going to spend some time in during
Yes.
cooking time?
Yes.
So you can turn off some fires?
Yeah. So we came up with 8 pillars. That's kind of like the concept that we're playing on this one. So it's 8 pillars. Each pillar is graded to the questions and observational. After the first additional audit, we identify like the choke points of what the back of the house is, whether it's accounting, whether it's cost control, food portioning, the things that aren't actual physical labor, right? And then within that same week of auditing, the initial audit or the first audit would be on a like on a slow day to see how they operate when they're slow, because there's 2 different aspects to it: when you're slow and then when you're busy. Because when you're slow, there's a lot of kill time, right? So if your labor cost is high, like, why are you staffing 20 people on a day where you're doing half the production, right? As opposed to
you still have to be consistent.
yeah. There has to be a gauge of, all right, well, if we're doing 200 covers as opposed to 500, I don't need 25 people. I don't need the 10 people. I need 8 people.
200 covers.
Right?
So you guys call them something. 200 dishes. 200. Sorry, but it's a cover.
No, guests.
No, 200 covers are guests. Yeah.
Yeah, because guests can have
Multiple dishes.
2 courses, 3 courses.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
All right, let me throw out a couple other ones. So efficiency of the operation, bottleneck. Is the stuff getting out? Is it coming together at the right time? Is it slow? Is it fast? Is it backing up? What do you do when something comes back to the kitchen? That's always a big problem. Oops, this isn't what they ordered, or they don't like it.
I have a little answer for that, but go ahead.
Okay. Because that stops the whole operation. I've seen the whole assembly line stops as you're trying to fix this one thing.
You have something to say about that?
PTSD. I plead the fifth.
That was our biggest challenge. Is stuff would come back, and we'd say we had to have a process for. I don't want to put it at the end of the line because this other stuff's got to come in, or do you get that out of the way real quickly so you can get back? I don't know. What do you do with an order comes back? Please.
It happened to me a few times.
I bet.
I just stopped the kitchen.
You stop the kitchen.
Stop the kitchen. We go through the back door and then have a talk. Like when a football team, they need
timeout.
Timeout.
Really? You stop the whole thing?
Yes.
And you'd walk out and say what?
Turn off the burners, let's talk.
Yeah.
And very quickly, we come back, okay, we fire up.
Wow, I never saw anybody stop the line. I thought like an assembly line, it never stops there. Interesting.
Yeah.
In occasions where I was the one making the mistakes, I've been stepped out of the line. It's like, yo, take a break. Because once you get to that point where you're like completely flustered, you cannot operate.
Right.
You know, there's so much stress and adrenaline going through your body. And in a given time, it's like there's so much things. There's other chefs, like Chef Pascal mentioned earlier, why you become so close to people like this is because that experience of being that like under stress and getting your ass chewed, and then having him come or another chef come and help you is it's crucial, and it becomes a grateful thing. So I've been asked to step out the line, cool down, come back, clear your head, because
makes sense.
It is something that you are doing wrong, and admitting to that is like kind of like the first step of solving the problem.
I'm going to give you another example of comment. We're trying to get through them here. So keeping the stuff going, using an expediter to call everything and direct it and whatnot here, having a process when mistakes start to happen, particularly under high pressure, things are coming back, wrong order, wrong thing, what's going on. Here's another one I saw all the time. We were guilty of it. Food costs. We're going to make the best frickin' sandwich you've ever seen. We're going to put 47 things and pile it high. We're going to make the best dish you've ever seen. By God, we're putting bigger portions, better portions, and that's why the customers come. Except at the end of the day, when it all adds up, we're losing money every one of those we sell, or not making any money on it here. Food portioning, food costs. Not just getting cheaper produce. Why don't we get cheaper lettuce or cheaper meat or cheaper fish? Why, when we constructed this dish, did we really cost out the cost of all that stuff we piled on there? Talk about that.
So, in our say-so, that's actually pillar number 2, which to me is the second most important part of the business.
I think it's huge.
It's called menu engineering. If you engineer your menu properly, cost and cross usage of product is essential, especially in times like this. I think in earlier times when food cost was a little bit cheaper,
who cares if you throw some more stuff on? Yeah, right.
You know, it was easier to navigate food costs and have a larger amount of dishes, and that's where you start getting like the 90s, early 2000 humongous dishes, right?
Yeah.
Or like menus. Where they have like 50, 40 items.
Yeah.
It's like, that's insane.
Pages and pages.
That's insane to have that right now.
Let's talk about both of those things, because I've seen both of those things. A Claim Jumper used to do that. They have a million items on the thing here, and that was their appeal. But those don't all sell equally. So you're buying a bunch of this, and it sits around and goes bad because you don't sell enough of those things. Or you have an ingredient that you only use once, and it just sits there forever and ever and ever. Whereas creative people find multiple ways to use the same ingredient. The chicken turns into a stock, turns into something else. You find ways to repurpose it and keep reusing it so you don't throw it away. But so many places, when they start have a thing that requires an ingredient and it doesn't sell and it's piled up back there and it's
that's why Chef Shock talk about it, the costing of ingredients, that one ingredient should be in more than one recipe.
Yes, right.
That will cut your costs a lot.
Right.
Very long. And one chicken, I used to make money in my restaurant because I buy whole chicken, and from one whole chicken you can make
multiple things.
3 items on the menu,
a soup,
including the stock.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, right.
So you have the chicken bones. Even a simple thing, a leek. Okay, you look at a leek. There's a white part. There's a more or less green part, and the green part. So one part goes to the stock, a middle part go to the soup, and the first part go to a little, and you make it confit on the fish.
Right.
So yes, so one leek, 3 type of
But
dish.
that comes to not only how you use it, but to how you construct the menu. Are we getting too many things on there? Too many one-offs that we don't use anything but that?
You know, it's like bartending.
Bartending was the same thing.
3 ingredients.
Okay.
It's a 3. I mean, the 3 is it's really a magic number.
3 is a magic number.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
The magic of 3. So what would you say? So explain that. So in bartending, what's the 3 ingredients?
One, the base is a liquor.
Right.
And the second will be something, the sweetness.
Right.
And then you have something acid. Same with food.
Exactly.
Really,
The combination of those 3 flavors to it. All right, so cost control, menu construction. So many restaurants open up with million items, and then you come back a year later, they're down to half a dozen or something. Do something better over and over and over again. And then safety, food safety, and all that stuff. What about physical safety? What about not falling and slipping and water and crap and reaching for stuff and all those kinds of things? And people fall and slip and everything back there too. It's a chaotic place, or stab each other, or worse, drop things.
No, we don't stab people here. No, we're cool.
Even though we have knives.
Knives and everything.
Yeah.
When you walk around, you cannot walk around with a knife. Now, if you have a knife in your hand, you have to call it. Say, knife coming for
corner knife,
right?
Behind knife.
And there seems to be some flow to it, where people are. You don't each go in the same door. There's one door you go in. There's one door you go out. There's a flow to it, and you don't.
Because if
coming through, look out.
Cook food come on the plate out of the kitchen. You don't want to go crossing dirty dishes and
exactly
that is cross contamination right there,
right
in the same area. So.
I think that's essential for like beginner cooks and stuff like that. And as a seasoned chef or cook, it becomes a second nature to you to say behind. I've caught myself saying that in the supermarket. I'll be pushing the cart. I was like, oh, behind. And people look back and it's like, fuck you, what are you doing? Like, oh,
exactly.
My bad, I'm going behind, just so that you know.
If somebody said in the supermarket, I will know that will be you.
I'll be, what's it got, doing the corner on the aisles. It was like, corner.
And was it just in our place, or I saw more and more people sort of tap each other lightly in the back? I'm behind you. They didn't say.
We don't like to touch each other in the kitchen.
So calling it out more.
Yeah.
Because I see people do that stuff too. There,
Personally, I say, don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Well, no, some people don't like it.
Yeah.
I always did that. I always came up behind people. I was like, then they would know I'm there or something, because it does move quickly, and it's got to move in a certain direction. And when you start moving in a different direction,
we have language in the kitchen that need to be used.
Give me some examples.
Hot,
Behind,
coming cold, behind you,
knife,
corner, knife.
Right. And you call that stuff out.
Yeah.
Keep it flowing. All right, so the flow, the timing of everything here, making sure it all arrives in the right order at the right time, cost control, menu control. What else am I not missing today here in today's chef?
The taste.
The taste. You mean it's actually got to be good?
Yeah. It does have to be good.
And who tastes it? Whose job is it to
mandatory?
It's coming out, you're cranking it out all night long. Does anybody ever say, wait a minute, this doesn't taste very good?
How do you define?
And how do you define taste? Yeah. That's one I never thought of. That's not on my pillars. Is it actually good?
I think that's, to an sense, subjective. I think as chefs, we just have to, stick to the fundamentals, which is fat, acid, sugar. Yeah.
But you used to say, Pascal, that you used to actually taste stuff all the time throughout the day.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to, because I will never, because especially in fine dining, you do more of a individually cooked item.
Right.
We do pan sauce. And, pan sauce is a difference between the sauce that's been sitting for hours on your station and they just put sauce on the plate.
Right.
So pan sauce, you say, if you cook two pepper steak, you make the sauce right there in that same pan that we cook the steak.
Right.
And so to be consistent, you have to make sure you test it before it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Even when you're cooking, like right now that I've been doing more catering and private chefing, a lot of the food that comes out to the guests or to the events is pre-done, right?
More and more. It's already been pre-cooked and they're just warming it up.
Yeah, or you're just holding, or you're cooking about like 20%, 10% on site. But disregarding that, say we're making like a tomato bisque, I'll do it, and I'll take some to Chef Brandon, I'll take some to Chef Pascal, I'll take some to other people so that they know it's like, oh, what does it need? Salt, acid, heat.
Missing something here.
Yeah, there's missing something. Because you can't always trust your own taste. Your taste buds change throughout the day. So you have a big sinus, you can't be tasting. You freaking salt the food too much.
And the chef, because, all right, we have to talk about that. Maybe we can name a few people, a few chefs that you work for as a sous chef, going out to private catering. But do you have to listen and figure out what the taste is? The chef is looking
their
for.
taste.
Oh, yeah.
What do they look? They want it to be hot, or they want it to be mild, or they want it to be.
Yes, I think that kind of goes to the style of chef as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like wherever it is that you're working is what you have to do. If at the end the executive chef has the final call.
Yeah.
And
you may like it this way, but they want to dial it up or dial it back or something here. Yeah.
You may have your own way to do it, but still the chef, that's his food. Yeah.
It's his food, his name on it, his contract.
At the end, that's as a team, the head is the executive, and
because he knows
who you're
he knows the
presenting.
client, he knows the demand of the client, what the client is.
And it was his
because
concept.
they're hiring him.
Right.
He's representing him, whether it's kitchen with his catering, private dinners. It's a representation of him. Whoever you have as a staff is representing you.
I've seen you working with Chef Brendan for time well spent, What?
The time well spent.
Yeah.
The tea, yeah.
Yeah. And you really, I'm not sure that's always your style, but you really step into a system of being very precise, very neat, very well organized. And you use tweezers and stuff like that. And so...
He uses tweezers?
Yeah, like little plating tweezers and
plating tweezers.
Yeah, we have plating tweezers.
Really design. You want to just tweak just a little bit there.
Yeah.
Can I give you another thing that drives me crazy? Two things that drive me crazy. It's just personal things. As somebody who goes to restaurants, I was a restaurant writer for a while for a newspaper. I love going out to eat. I had a restaurant. These are things that drive me crazy. One, when you go in and ask the staff, what's the special, and they don't know. That should be part of a discussion every day. The staff should know what they're presenting.
That's another pillar. Go ahead.
All right.
That is another pillar.
That is a pillar. It drives me nuts. If you don't know what the special is,
it's another pillar because
actually it's more than a pillar. It's a basement of the success.
Yeah, exactly. So how can you sell it if you don't know what it is? And this is our special. This is what we want to be known for. This is what we're making the most money on today here. This is whatever, and you don't even know what it is. Drives me crazy. Or flip side of that, they tell me all about it, and I say, wow, I'm going to have that. Oh, but we're out of it. How can you ever run out of the special? I mean, is it just...
If I may say, is also the relationship of the kitchen manager or the chef with the management, the dining room management.
Yeah, maybe.
They have to work together to train the staff.
Everything, yeah. Because it's a whole ecosystem. It's an organism.
It is.
It's not just the chefs. It's not just the GM. It's not just the servers.
Because you guys can be cranking it out well, and its food cost is under control, and your creative menu, and it's not too big, and moves well, and it's expedite. All the stuff we talked about, and it tastes good. But if you run out of it, or they don't know how to sell it, what's the point?
Yeah, or sometimes you have we call it the window. There's a window where you put up the food for pickup, and sometimes the window is full.
Yeah,
the chef will run out of the kitchen, go get the manager, say, "Hey, got to
the food is getting cold.
Have your server bring their butt to pick up their food." You know?
Yeah, because see, like that to me becomes a bottleneck, and that's like the battle between servers and cooks, where we're pushing food like crazy, and it's dying in the window.
Yeah,
right. And the servers doing their job too. They get the chance to be on the floor, and sometimes they get carried out by the customers. Right,
they're talking,
and at that point, like you really can't do anything, but. Yeah, that doesn't stop from the food dying, you know.
And don't you hate it when also servers say, that steak is overcooked.
Yeah.
Or that steak is not cooked enough.
It's like, oh, I forgot to put this in.
and yeah, only.
Or they're being critical of you, right?
They forgot to put. The client is allergic to this, and you put that on. They put cilantro on my plate. I don't eat cilantro, so. And that's it. The kitchen has to react to that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle that?
Because they're two separate worlds. You're running the kitchen, Chef Palska, on the back. I'm running the wait staff out front here. The two only meet at that window. And they may not really understand what you're doing.
I want you to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, probably picking it up since the beginning, yeah. Like, don't...
Is
that why places go to food runners? That somebody else's job to just bring it out?
No.
The server has to do a good job to share everything that the client asks for. Very important.
Can I give you my take on it? Years ago, when you were doing your restaurant, serving was a noble profession. It was you aspired to be a server. You started off as a server a million years ago. You told me in France. Yeah. That was a job. And there was an art to it, to how do you present it, and you come from the left or the right, and how do you listen to a client, how do you move it, and how do you sell it, and all that stuff here. Today, it's just a temporary job. I'm picking it up because I can't get a job, so I'll be a server. And I don't really understand food. I don't understand the system. I don't really understand the concept. I'm just here. I'm a robot. What would you like? I put it in, And then I shrug my shoulders and say, I don't know. I don't know anything about the dish. I don't know why it came out wrong. I don't know why it's not doing this. I don't know. I don't see a lot of really professional servers anymore.
No, it's hard to come around those now. I think the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s was like the prime era of servers.
You go to a fine dining, particularly fine dining, of which is less and less. More there's just casual dining. But fine dining, you talked about. I wish I'd been to your restaurant and experienced some of that stuff. How the food came out, how you presented it, where you positioned it, what you did with it, to the whole presentation. I've only had a few of those meals in my life, and I'll remember them to the day I die. A good server who really listened to you, who made recommendations, who presented it right, who was on top of things but not pestering you. You didn't have to be waving your arm and shooting off a rifle to get their attention or something here. There's a whole world of service that I think we have kind of lost. That's my crabby old opinion.
Probably yes, but also, the successful restaurant, they're still doing good job.
I think they do. There still are great servers
There's no
out there.
other choice.
They have to. Because the food could be delicious and everything, but if the server gives them a bad experience, they're not coming back.
No.
I went to a Chinese restaurant in the Korea it's a food shopping center on Jamboree.
Right.
And the serving staff was so well educated. They were perfectly on the top of everything. They could describe the entire menu with a long menu.
Yeah.
And they bring you excitement.
Yes.
And then to a point, say, I want to try everything.
I won't name the restaurant, but I've told you offline, a place you recommended that I go to, and I did. And I've been a couple times now, and the service is horrible. And it's special. I won't give it away by explaining what it is, but they serve certain things you can't get anywhere else, and staff didn't know about them. And the last time I was there, in the middle of, I ordered something, and then my server disappeared. And I looked down at the end of the counter, and he's down there eating. And I'm like, well, he's on break now. And I'm like, well, but I need more of this, or I have a question about this, or whatever. And, wait for 10 minutes, he'll be back.
Did I recommend that place?
You told me about it. I'll tell you offline what it was here. And great food. Phenomenal stuff. I'd go there again, but I thought, oh my God, it's not going to make it because the service is terrible. Because they're dealing with ordinary kids who don't understand extraordinary food.
But this is where you have to make sure the kitchen and the front work together.
And I don't know that they do enough of that anymore here. Do you guys used to do tasting? I mean, really good restaurants, you'd have the staff taste the stuff, and you'd have little things beforehand and to explain it and to taste it, and the chef they could ask questions and stuff about it. So many now today, they just...
So, the question for that, how do you motivate the staff to be happy to work?
To be knowledgeable, to push.
With a menu that's being imposed to them.
Right. Or does
I
it
think
not matter
this is
anymore?
where leadership comes in.
Yeah.
This is where leadership comes in, and having a good leader sets the tempo and pace of what's expected.
Yeah.
If you have someone that is being an asshole to you and like you're not gonna want to work with him, all right. But if you have someone who is giving you encouragement as well as setting good goals, setting standards, and pushing people to become better, is something that becomes more like a team effort.
And having fun, and you can sell it, and people like it, and they want to come back. Here's my last question. I'm running out of time. I know you got a couple. Here's my last question. You can end with your questions. Here's my last question. I'll try and shut up. So we're going to bring in Forkcast Solutions, because my restaurant, I'm the owner. It ain't working. We're not doing the numbers. We're losing money. Customers are not coming back. So we bring in an outside consultant. How well does that fly with my staff, my chef, or do they immediately fight you, resist you? Oh, great. I'm going to make sure this guy never comes back again.
This is new. He's going to find out.
Yeah. No,
I think that's
I've
a big
helped a couple kitchens already, and I think that one of the things that has helped me the most is being the way I am. I'm very direct when it comes to things, and I'm not afraid of the confrontation that will come with it. However, one of the first things that I do establish when I've gone in to help other restaurants is that we're here to help. Yeah. If the owner is calling in for help and it is visually going under, like, how are you gonna keep someone that wants to sabotage the process of the kitchen?
Yeah.
You know, so that alone right there, that person is eliminated.
Yeah, because
right?
you're losing the
because
business.
he's the problem.
You lose your job as well.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
Like, you're shooting your foot on, you're shooting yourself on your own foot.
But
like,
so many,
how are you gonna do that?
So many businesses, the people resist change.
Big time.
Oh, yeah.
That is a big resistance. Like I said, one of the first things that I do whenever I come into a position like this, where I've gone and help out and, you know, build something with another chef and other restaurants, is create that. Is like, hey, like, I'm not here to take your job. Like, if I wanted to, I would have taken it, right? You're obviously not doing a good job with it, so how about we work together?
Yeah.
Come together and solve the problem.
And then I'll leave. If we fix it, I'm gone.
So
Yeah.
now with your consulting, let's say it again, Forkcast Solutions.
You got to talk into the mic
really
there.
like that name.
Oh.
Forkcast Solutions.
Forkcast Solutions. I think it's a very clever name.
You're going to learn the good and the bad of several kitchens.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't you think this should put you on the path to open your own restaurant?
He'll be an expert now, and I'm going to put it to use.
So, yes, that's actually one of the processes or process that we eventually want to do. But I don't want to open a restaurant in the concept of actual restaurant. You know, for me, I'm very inclined into the fine dining, into the experience of dining. That is why I opened up Butterfly. Butterfly, to me, even for caterings, I don't focus on big caterings. If I want to do big caterings, I work with Chef Brandon, right, which are fun too. It's very hard work. It's very laborious, but for me, it's more the private dining, the little plating, what's it called?
With the tweezers.
The tweezers and 3 different sauces and all that. Right? So actually pouring your passion into the plate, because for me, cooking
pouring
is
your passion into the plate. He said that so quickly.
Yeah.
So Chef Pascal, you've once again shocked me, because you bring in these young guys who have passion for food as you did, but their passion isn't to put their name on the door anymore.
Well, they have knowledge, and they also want to help others. You are helping other chefs or the restaurant. So it's part of the community.
But their dream isn't the same dream you had, which was someday I'm going to see Pascal's name on the door there. So more and more of them, they're like, I don't know. That seems too difficult, too expensive, too scary, too something. That isn't their dream.
A little bit egocentric. But,
no, really?
No, really. But it's pride, too.
Absolutely. Your name's on the door now.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, because look, like, to answer that question, again, given the circumstances of our current situation, it's hard to have a kitchen these days, right?
Harder than ever.
Yeah.
Correct. So you have rent at an all-time high, food at an all-time high, and then labor sucks. So it's like, how are you gonna build something that is effective and profitable? Because at the end of the day, even if you open a restaurant, the point of it is to make money.
And Pascal pointed out something to me a while ago that I've not forgotten. You don't think I listen sometimes, sir. You said that the high cost today of open a restaurant, $1 million or whatever it is today, means that your investors probably won't make it back quickly or ever on the first restaurant. It better be a success so you can open more. That's where you can have multiple locations and multiple buying and multiple profit. Maybe you're only making a little bit, but you're making it from a lot of places. The idea of having a restaurant named Pascal's that's a standalone restaurant is harder and harder than ever before. Too expensive, too hard to turn a profit on.
It is, but it's still feasible. You know, you just
not impossible.
No.
If you have a good team, you know, you will succeed.
That's why you have to follow the 8 pillars, you know?
Yeah.
The 8 pillars. Right. If they want to follow
we had one more. We need a basement.
And the basement to the pillars. All right, so if they want to find out more about the private dining you do at Butter Fight, or if there's somebody listening that's saying, we could use some help, our team is struggling, our costs are struggling, there's a bottleneck here, I'm open to having a consultant come in and take a look and evaluate my 8 pillars here in my basement and everything else, and the attic and everything else. How do they find you at Forkcast Solutions?
Okay, so the website that is going to be, it's butterfight.com. And
That's
there,
the catering.
Yes, that's for right now we're attaching Forkcast into Butterfight.
All right.
But again, this is something that is getting on the works. We're launching March 1st. Moving forward, we're going to be open for everyone.
I think I think consultants are needed in every phase of the business because you can't see what you don't know. You can't see past your own problems. You need somebody to come in and say, "Come on."
Your Butterfight website, you can be linked to your consulting services.
We actually have a landing page. We're going to have a landing page for Forkcast.
All right.
And right there, you're able to inquire for what do you call it, an appointment for us to go in, interview,
consulting.
Yeah,
and what's the typical engagement period? A week, a month, a day? Do you just go in and do a structured questionnaire and give them a feedback, or do you work with them for a month or?
We have different levels of help that we could do to the kitchen. We call it the quick fix, and that's a 2 to 3 week process. We have another one with more diagnostic, where we sit there and we actually work with the restaurants for about 6 to 10 weeks, and then we have one where it's just recurring help round. So every month we come in, we audit this, we audit that.
See how you're doing.
Yeah, just keeping tabs on what it's going.
I think you're doing a fantastic.
I think it's a needed service.
Great vision, and if you need an extra agent, I will be with you.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you so much. Pascal, how do they reach you? If they want to find out you're still catering and doing things and teaching.
Yeah, my website is Pascal at Pascal Catering on Pascal Olhat's Cuisine.
Old Hats. Spell Old Hats for us here.
OLHATS. But Pascal Cuisine will get you.
Pascal Cuisine. All right. Or tune in each and every week as we continue to explore behind the kitchen doors.
Let's make sure if you want to meet Chef Ramirez, come to Table for 10.
Oh,
Table
yeah,
for 10. Yeah,
Which
we're
is
gonna
when?
be there.
Give us a
March 1st.
March 1st. Where is it at?
1st. I forgot.
Irvine Hotel or something?
No. I think it's the Via, no?
Via
Hotel in
Via Hotel, Newport Beach.
Newport Beach this time.
Via.
You guys don't even know where you're showing up.
No, we do, but it's just we kind of forget. There's a lot of things going on.
All right, so check. And
we revamp Newport Beach Marriott.
Yeah, check out Table for 10. The address is going to be there.
Tablefor10.org.
Tablefor10.org. Get your tickets now. Selling out fast.
And this contribute to help the new generation of cooks and chefs.
I do want to add something before we leave.
Quickly.
I want to say thank you to Chef Pascal for being a mentor and a power figure in the Orange County community as a younger chef and being part of Table for 10. I've gone pretty close with all these old guys,
These old guys here.
And it's very inspiring and knowledgeable to have this knowledge that is being passed down from his chef to him to me to future chefs. Right, I'm very grateful to have met him, and I'm very proud to be part of this.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being part of the legacy of Orange County food industry.
Thank you, Chef. I appreciate that, and I'm gonna do my best to continue the legacy that we have in Orange County and make it better. So that is my goal.
Got to go.
All right, sir.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Let's go.
Wow. Well, that was a lot to digest in one meal here, but very insightful. Learn more about what happens behind the kitchen doors right here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio. Streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.